Welcome to a very special edition of DashBoard. This is the first episode of Season 2. We're in a random McDonald's parking lot. We're podcasting from the Volkswagen Canada I.D Buzz. Gentlemen?
Dun, dun, dun.
The Buzz Boys. We're buzzing.
Yeah, just don't move. You'll hear every cable move and every sound in the van. But we're doing our best to... we're running this podcast off of the van. So we're going to watch that battery status from the front. How much have we burned? 1% getting here?
I think
Something like that.
Yeah, it's at 66 now. We'll report back in 45 minutes.
Just want to shout out Volkswagen. Really, really appreciate the crew there for loaning us this vehicle for, 6 days or something. We're all sort of splitting the driving duty. We've been taking it everywhere. Let's describe this van because we're not on YouTube. This is the I.D Buzz. What's the top model called?
4Motion?
Yep.
4Motion. It's white and cabana blue.
Yeah, this is the first edition.
First edition. That's the model. It has a... what are we calling this? Cognac on the interior?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lovely thing. It looks really slick.
It's very nice.
The white over the blue. I'm just describing it
Yep.
so everyone has a visual
It's got
of what we're
like
doing.
a peridot stitching in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is
acidy green.
Yeah, which is, I think on paper, a weird combo, but I think it works.
It is just a bit, I wouldn't say out of place, but I do like it. Like, there's nothing else in here that is remotely that color.
No.
But
No, but I don't think it offends.
no,
It's interesting.
this one has the electrochromatic, huge, non-operable sunroof, but it lets in a ton of light.
Yes.
It's a 6-seat version. My understanding is the non-4Motion version, you can get a bench in the middle, but this trim only comes with captain's chairs.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So this is a full 6-seat configuration.
Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Dylan and I had the distinct pleasure of driving across Toronto to get this car. Again, we really appreciate the folks at Volkswagen Canada
Yep.
for letting us have it. On the drive there, we were worried about freezing rain.
Well, you got it.
Well, it was clear going
It was
down.
a beautiful drive.
It was beautiful going down.
On the way back, we encountered an early April blizzard.
To say the
and,
least.
Got whiteout conditions on the 401 and crawled along for almost 5 hours to get back to our houses, maybe something like that.
Yeah, 2.5 hour drive, 5 hours.
Yeah. Luckily, Dylan was driving the van. You want to give us I want your initial thoughts when you drove it, that first kind of 20 minutes.
Well, the cool part about my experience so far is I have driven this thing in every condition possible. I have seen sun. I have seen rain. I have seen sleet. I have seen 401 completely iced up. I have seen whiteout snow.
Okay.
And it is awesome.
And it's capable in all that.
It's totally capable.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, we are in 4Motion, and we have winters on.
Yes.
Which
Had
is
some
very nice of them to
early
put-
winters on there.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
nice. I don't know what they
Yeah.
are, but they look really slick.
Yeah.
Are they scorpions or something?
Yeah,
Is that
they
a
are.
tire? Okay.
Yeah.
They look slick.
Yeah. First 20 minutes of driving, I'm not an EV driver, so the whole new experience, right? It's cool.
Really?
Like, we left that headquarters, and what does it take, 5 minutes to get on the highway?
Oh, sure. Yeah, not even.
Not,
yeah.
yeah. 7 thumbs up. Instantly. And it's like everybody's looking at it, and it's so smooth.
It is smooth. I'm going to agree with that.
Like, it is a great riding vehicle.
I have a very specific story if you
Yeah.
want related to your drive back.
Yeah.
Within the first 10 minutes, Dylan calls me because I'm driving in front of him in my Volkswagen Tiguan, and he calls me and he goes, "I got 6." That's all he said, and I was like, "What?" And he said, "I got 6," and I didn't understand what you were getting at. And then eventually he drops on me, "I've got 6 thumbs up. Everybody's waving at me. It's crazy."
It's a wild experience for a minivan.
Yeah.
You're not in a, SVJ or something.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like, Dylan picked me up, dropped me off, or dropped this off. And, in the 10-minute drive from my house to his, we had people sort of head jerking, goosenecking, leaning out their windows, smiling. Like, you get so much attention, and all of it is positive. It is kind of just strange how, fancy, to your point, like a Lamborghini would maybe get the attention, but something like this that is just very run-of-the-mill. It puts a smile on people's face.
The exterior, I don't think is run-of-the-mill.
Definitely not running.
Well,
No.
no, that is fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks wise, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is a minivan.
Fair enough.
Which-
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, look, it was an eventful drive home.
Yeah.
250 kilometers took us 5 hours-ish. It was a long day of driving in the freezing rain. And I found myself sort of irrationally jealous of you in the van because you have 6,300 pounds of weight when you're riding over all that ice and snow. and my Tiguan felt like it was a little bit sketchy most of the drive home.
Yeah, no, there's no concerns here.
Yeah.
Once you get this thing going, it's going.
Okay. Those are your initial reactions. You thought it was pretty slick.
I did. And
Okay.
you know what? Yeah. I'll save my comments for a little bit later.
Yes,
but
exactly.
initial thoughts are, wow. The interior actually really surprised me. And the seats.
Yeah, they're very comfortable. I
Oh, the
agree.
driver's seat is super comfortable. Where
Yeah.
I'm not usually too impressed with them. But this seat is really good.
Sean, give us your initial impressions.
Well, just on that seat point, I will
Yeah.
say that this shares a characteristic which I think one or two only other vehicles do. Certainly a Range Rover or a Range Rover Sport. It has dual armrests on both the front driver's seat and the front passenger seat, which to me makes it incredibly comfortable. And thankfully, the pad on the driver's door is far too high to put your elbow or arm up there, so they did cover that off. Like Dylan, I think what I've determined, I mean, we've mentioned before, I've driven now a Tesla Model S that was many years ago, a Taycan. I had the Macan Electric for a morning, and now having driven this, I think my thoughts are, I don't want to get into the merits of, greenwashing or whether this is good for the environment or not, but I think that driving an electric car, full stop, in and around the city is just a pleasant experience. It is smooth. There's no transmission. There's no noise. The programming and the software on the regenerative braking in this to me is fantastic. It, if you're approaching a corner and you let off the throttle, is that what it's called?
The play button?
The accelerator button.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it to me brakes in a manner that I would, like if I was using the brakes, it just does it automatically. And it becomes intuitive within like 10 minutes. And you find yourself, you can just one pedal this thing all around town. It's not jerky. I took my kids, I guess I picked them up from school/daycare and then brought them to school the next morning. And, to Dylan's point, everybody goes nuts. They loved it. I mean, they're opening the doors, closing the doors. They want these windows open. They're crawling around the thing. They loved it as well. And yeah, like, honestly, I think for me personally, like, would I drive a Honda Odyssey or would I drive a Toyota Sienna or a Caravan? I think those are kind of your three options these days. No. Would I drive this? Probably. Yeah. I mean, it checks a lot of boxes. My dog was in here in her bed, just laying on the floor. There's so much room. Like, I'm 6'2". Mike's big guy sitting beside me. We have like miles of legroom ahead of us.
Yeah, I can definitely see the air between Mike's knees and the seat.
Yeah,
There's a lot.
It's cavernous in here. I thought it was fantastic. I liked it.
Yeah, and I want to comment that I think we all agree, having seen Sean drive the Buzz this morning, he looks the most Buzz owner.
Yeah, he's a Buzzy.
You look like you fit right in here.
I had my Volkswagen dad hat on.
It's perfect.
In the Buzz, and I was, I felt
You were
right
loving
at home.
life.
Yeah.
That's good.
Quick mention to the marketing team at Volkswagen for sending us some nice swag, some
Great
T-shirts, some hats, a mug.
Yep.
Can't wait to have my tea in that.
Yeah, they've been amazing.
Yeah, super
Great
nice people.
communication.
Yeah.
Always on time. It's amazing.
Anyway, look through. I'll give my initial impressions. Sean handed the car off to me, and I very quickly was like, I love the look of it, but when I got in it, at first I was really struggling with the driving position. I just felt like I'm not used to driving a what do you want to call it? A cargo van, I guess.
Yeah,
Like a
kind of.
delivery van, like a
you
Sprinter.
sit close to the front. You're up high. Yeah, that was a bit odd for me. Other than that kind of initial reaction, I felt a bit weird. But within the first few minutes, I think maybe the first 20 minutes, I started to feel pretty good about the driving position. To Sean's point on the one pedal driving thing, that's one of those things I have actually never tried before. I drove one electric car a long time ago, but that wasn't really a thing back then. That's a very easy change to make. It's amazing how kind of like organic that felt for me. And I don't know if that's just Volkswagen specific tuning or however they apply that brake. It's just, it always feels like just the right amount of braking. It never feels like you're being over slid forward in your seat or being under braked. Like, it just felt like a really good balance. That's, again, initial reactions. I was a little confused on it first, but I would have said within the first like 5 corners, I felt great.
Yeah, very intuitive.
Yeah. And during the entire time I had this vehicle, I drove 99% of it in a city, and I watched the battery, and it is amazing how you can keep that battery held up by running that regen braking. I just drove it in that mode all the time. So that single pedal. And other initial reactions on the interior. It's an enormous car.
Yep.
I'm not used to an enormous car. The Tiguan feels big, but then you get in this and you're like, nope, the Tiguan is small.
Oh yeah.
know?
The Tiguan's not big.
Yeah, but it feels big. Like, when I bought it, I thought, that's a big car. Now this is like huge. I mean, look how far away the dashboard is.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think I said this to one of you, but we have an Atlas, which is probably not maybe quite this big, but it's honestly not that much smaller inside. Like we have,
I bet you it's pretty close to the same size.
We have
Yeah.
captain's chairs in the middle, and my daughter, who's, I don't know, a little bit less than 4 feet, like she stands up in the thing. She could do that in here too. Like it's a big car inside too.
Yeah.
And it feels very roomy in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the massive window on the roof.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
really
a sunroof
nice.
guy. I know not everybody is, but I really like that.
Yeah. So, but that adds so much like airiness to the inside.
Yeah.
Like it does not feel like you're in a cavernous cave in here by any means.
No, it's I don't know. I enjoy it overall. I'm not used to driving vans, so as a person who comes from not driving a van, I thought this was a very nice experience overall. And we did our best as a crew to use it for like everything.
Right.
Oh, everything.
We-
I did
so-
500 kilometers. In
Yeah,
this.
so I mean, you went to date night, you took your wife out,
Yep.
you picked up tell us the stories, give us all the information. You did all the things.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I just used it for everything. I took it to site visits, everything. Like I mean, I picked up my taxes with it.
Perfect.
Like I was like,
liked
yeah,
it.
sure, why not? Let's go.
Yeah.
Obviously Starbucks runs, just everything. We didn't shy away from anything. I don't think.
No.
Mike,
I didn't.
Mike, unfortunately, you haven't driven it yet. You're taking it home after this.
Yeah.
But you're sitting in it now.
Yeah.
We know that you have been quite opposed, I would say, to EVs in general. But does
100%.
Does that bother you at all about this, or are you just sort of
No.
sold in the looks?
The looks cool van. Like harks back to the old VW buses and stuff. I think it's exciting that way. Looks very luxurious inside. It's nice, but like you said, I have not spent 5 minutes with this thing, so I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the weekend goes.
It'll be interesting to get your feedback on the next episode, I think, Mike, because the three of us are sort of. I think if I rank us, I think Dylan is the most in love, and Sean is
I'll take
probably
that
the
title.
second most in love.
That's probably true.
And I'm a distant third. I love the car, but I'm not even remotely close to ever looking at something like this. It's just not for
And
me.
I've made it quite clear
Yeah.
that I am the last guy on earth that'll ever have an EV.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that'll be really interesting.
it'll
to hear.
be interesting to see if
Yeah.
this thing sways me.
You made a good comment though, Mike, and I think we all 100% agree with you that this is like, I don't know the best words to put it in, but like this car does the best job of kind of evoking the vintage. Like it
Yep.
really looks like it's
Yep.
kind of inspiration vehicle from the 60s. And the interactions I've had, like it's just all these people pulling up next to you, thumbs up, honking their horns. And it's all because of the looks. They don't know anything about this car. They just know that it looks like a bus.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Like
the
a
only
Volkswagen
thing
bus.
holding me back at this point, without driving it,
Yeah.
is the stories from you guys. Like, okay, on your way home from Toronto, you had to stop and charge it, and it was going to be an hour and a half to get it up to a
Yep.
to a decent point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the first charge cost you, I don't know, $40, I want to say.
And what was it? In
Yeah,
there?
it was.
And
No, it was $40. I thought on your credit card, but charged you 25 kind of thing.
Yeah, I spent $60 charging it for 500K.
60
Okay, got
bucks
it,
for
got it.
500K. So I don't
Yeah.
know, in fuel, 500K, 60 bucks, maybe that's so about the same. So
Yeah.
the value, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we have covered a lot of the positives, but this is by no means a perfect vehicle. And
No.
and to your point, Mike, the car's just shut off. Did you hear the Volkswagen
Dun, dun,
heartbeat
dun.
thump?
I got tired of you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pulled up when I mentioned, picking up, dropping off my kids, and one of the, the people helping was like, "Oh, wow, did you get a new car?" And I said, "No." And they're like, "That's really cool. Is it like fuel efficient?" I said, "Well, it's electric, so it depends on your perspective." But so, I mean, I don't think people generally understand or know this is an electric vehicle.
Nope.
But yeah, if we're doing a Harry style review, we've covered a lot of positive. Let's talk a little bit about maybe some of the things that are less positive about this. As somebody mentioned earlier, it is a very heavy piece of rolling metal and or aluminum. I noticed that it's fairly compliant just driving around, but when you do, if you hit kind of an aggressive sort of bump or a hump in the road, it you can sense the weight. Like it doesn't handle its body control that well. Like I think someone used the word porpoising, which
Yeah.
I think is accurate. Like it struggles to sort of settle itself back down after.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
you really
100%.
notice that when you're doing like 120.
Okay.
on
Yeah,
an
the
ice-covered
401.
highway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I haven't done that yet, but certainly in town, I was just, it's kind of doing this bobbing.
Yes.
thing.
I would say if you get on a piece of road where it's not just a single yump, like it's like a bunch of bumps, the car just it struggles. And it might just be I actually think it's probably a combination of the weight and the length.
Could be.
Like, 'cause if the wheelbase was shorter, you would actually likely get that back under control faster. But I almost wonder if there's flex. Like, are you getting a bit of flex in this long car?
Yeah,
No.
maybe.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It just feels weird. There's a couple of those weird moments.
Other downsides, I think, inside this is Volkswagen is kind of known at this point, unfortunately, for some buggy UI. I would say this suffers from the same sort of quirks and things as that. There's no volume knob. I mean, again,
Oh man, for a second I thought you were going to say quirks and features. Anyway, sorry.
I almost did, but I was like, I think that's copyrighted.
It was
though, isn't
close.
it?
Yeah.
Other than that,
I agree. The UI is a little bit maybe clumsy.
yes.
There are moments it's great. Like when I'm rocking the CarPlay, like I think this is excellent.
Yeah, CarPlay fixes everything.
Yes, until
Almost.
I need to I need to adjust the volume or the climate, and I'm
Right.
like, it's just not super. I
Yeah.
want it to be just a little bit smoother.
And I mean, this is not unique to this car, but
No.
I do find that it's got quite a big screen, which is great. It's clear, but
But it's got a big screen, but not too big,
No, agree.
which I actually really like.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
still kind of distracting trying to find the climate. And again, if you own the car, you'd understand it better. But I'm searching all over the screen for, now I want to adjust the climate. I want to do this, I want to do that. So I don't know. I think that's could use some work. The other thing that we all noticed immediately was this car suffers from perhaps the worst buffeting with the windows open that I've ever experienced. I mean, it is a big box in here, and the wind comes in, and there is nowhere for it to go.
Oh, it's
Yeah, it
it's
is
horrendous.
confusing. The buffeting is strange. Because all I want to do with this car on a sunny day is drive with the windows down. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels like that's what you should do. Look how
Yeah.
cool in this sweet minivan.
Yep.
And then I can't roll the windows down. And I've driven a lot of Caravans. They don't have that problem.
Well,
because they've got those rear
I
window
was going to
vents.
say,
You
they
can
let
release
air
the
out
pressure.
back. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a big drawback, I will say. Because you're right. You want to drive this vehicle, sunny day, windows down.
Yeah.
Even if you crack these back window sliders
Yeah.
on the sliding doors, like midway in the vehicle,
Yeah.
it does nothing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Up to about 59 kilometers an hour, it's acceptable.
And then it's like a bomb goes off.
Yes, it quite literally is like a light switch. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Related to that UI, that big screen that I'm looking at up there at the front of the car, for those who haven't seen this car, 99% of operations is handled through that big center screen, sort of iPad thing on the dash. There is also still a small screen in front of the steering wheel, which when I first got in, I thought was a little weird, but actually having driven it, I thought that presents all of the critical information pretty simply, and it makes me realize you don't need much else for most cars. You'd probably be fine.
It is.
Even in a
Yeah,
gas car,
correct.
the
Yeah.
data you see there is actually fine.
I think that's lifted from an ID4, and I agree. It looks strange, but it kind of works.
It works. Yeah, it works really well. I had a weird, I have a couple thoughts, positive and negative. One is, this is a weird, nerdy level for Ryan, but the distance between the right-hand side of the steering wheel and the big kind of iPad tablet is the most perfect distance for a guy who drives with his hand on the wheel. If you're a right-hand steering guy, you can move your hand. It's not even a stretch to the full length of the hand, but your hand can be on the steering wheel, pushing a button on the screen and back to the steering wheel, so lickety split. There's this optimum distance, and I don't know how best to put that, but I like that distance. I even took a photo of my hand there just because I thought I like everything about that. I feel like I don't have to reach for it. It's always right at hand, which was really nice.
Yep, it's well thought out.
Yeah, that feels really good. The other thing is I just sort of feel the steering wheel. I have the steering wheel in my Tiguan. Haptic buttons on the steering wheel are always a bit of a trade-off. And then on a real negative, haptic buttons for the what do you call window regulators?
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean they don't even look like buttons. It's slightly confusing. Every time I went to roll down the window, I'd accidentally hit the button that opens that switches you over to the rear windows. There's just some of that stuff where I'm like, we don't actually need to do this.
Yeah, just give me four
just
window buttons.
a button. A physical button would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought UI is just slightly clumsy, but as an overall experience, as long as I'm using CarPlay, which I'm an iPhone user, I thought it was excellent. No complaints.
Yeah, no, me either. I had no complaints either.
And the hand flicking back and forth is just instant. It's so fast.
Yeah, yeah, it's very nice. And I mean, the driving position, I kind of warned you guys before, because I knew kind of what we'd be getting into. That it's very chair-like,
Yes.
sitting at a table chair.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Like
that's good.
You know, your legs are very upright, I guess you
Yeah.
could say.
Well-
it's less laying down.
Well, it is upright when you put the seat as high as you do, Dylan.
Well,
Your
I just got
your
in
poor
the
feet
thing.
were dangling off the floor. I think. I got it and I had to drop it down about 6 inches. But he was like a bus lady up there bouncing around.
I wish there was one of those big wheels
You're
on this.
right.
This would be sick.
Were you really sitting high?
Oh, dude, he had
I didn't
like
even change the seat when I got in it. I just drove it.
it
Oh,
was-
let's give the user, the listeners, some metrics here. What's your inseam on your legs? Are you 30?
32.
Oh, you're 32.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm 32, but you must. I don't sit high. Like I had it seated pretty. Like I was quite happy when I got it from Sean.
Well, it was on
I
the
just left
floor.
the seat where it was.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, and I just left the seat when I got in it.
Oh,
where
okay.
it was.
Okay.
And then I think
Interesting.
Sean tried to get in it and was like, "Oh, my head's in the window."
yeah. I initially thought we had a big problem, but it's horses for courses. Like everybody likes it differently. But yeah, once I dropped it down, there's extendable. What do they call those? Thigh bolsters or
Yeah,
squab?
yeah.
And once I got that out, I found the seat to be very comfortable. I don't actually love the seats in our Atlas. About 2 hours into any journey, I'm always squirming, and
Interesting.
so these, frankly, are probably similar, but they felt better on the long run. So
Well, that's interesting. We had other thoughts. I thought living with it for the 24 hours. I thought the sound system is like excellent. No complaints.
Yeah,
It's
it was
a
very
Harman
good.
Kardon. I think it's
Yep.
very good. I'm not sure if that's a standard on this van or if it's just on this top of the line.
Probably just
Yeah.
on this one.
yeah.
I made
Speaking of that,
Yeah.
actually, while we're looking at it, how
Yeah.
far you are to the windshield.
Yeah.
that is weird.
It's like a table up there.
It's
Yes.
like 3 feet to the
So
bottom.
Sean, you made a really like a funny comment about that because you were like, how? Because just so we're all on the same page, Sean is like the most OCD car cleaner that
Yeah.
exists, and he was like, I don't think I can reach the windshield.
Yeah, to clean it.
Yeah,
That was
because it
my
is a
big
long
concern.
way away. It's probably 36 inches away at least.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah.
And to that point, I guess you could do this on most guys, but there's a 6-pack of donuts sitting up there. I mean, it's nowhere near the windshield still.
No.
This is a Canadian show, man. We got to have Tim Hortons donuts in the
Yeah.
car. I was just I had this kind of this vision of Sean like buying a small mop and like walking in with a mop
Yeah,
bucket
like,
and then just
um,
mopping
with,
his
like-
windshield.
Yeah, with like a handle on it. I'd have to,
Yeah, that was
You
what I was
definitely need
imagining.
one.
It is really far because I did try to reach it when you mentioned
You
that. and I
can't
was
reach
like,
it.
No, yeah, I can't. Maybe if you put the seat all the way up against it and tried to use that as your support network, but it's a little weird.
Did you guys also realize, and this is I didn't know it was here.
Yeah.
Until Sean started driving me home. See that little, that little lip up on the dashboard?
Yeah, it's got a light in it.
Yeah. It goes extremely red when you should brake.
Oh yeah, I was going to.
Oh no, I never had one of those
No,
moments.
me either.
No.
Yeah,
Was Sean tailgating someone? Is that what you're saying?
Within about, 3 minutes?
it was a new driver on Warrencliffe. They didn't know what the heck they were doing.
It happens. It happens. I think it's a little bit rainy outside, and it's a little bit grim, it's a little bit gray. I think we all thought that the backup camera, the kind of system is good. You've got the kind of overview, the flying shot with the car from all distances. You've got all that kind of like, what do they call those? Those advanced backup features where you've got the camera floating above the car and you see it in the drawing.
Surround camera.
Surround camera. But we all, I think, thought that the backup camera is slightly laggy. And at night, trying to back this thing up, the backup camera is it's just not great.
It's
yeah,
true.
it's got to be like this camera. This can't be a production camera.
I have
issue.
no
Like,
idea. Whoa, sorry about that. We had a bit of a technical difficulty. That makes sense?
a little kerfuffle.
Yeah, we're powering off the van. We thought our recording device had a battery backup. It apparently dropped the ball. I'm sorry about that. It's my fault. You can all hate on me now. I'm sorry.
This will be almost seamless by the magic of editing.
Yes, I feel bad about it. But there's
Almost.
going to be a slight fade out there in the middle of while we were on the backup cam details. Anyway, we're moving on. I have a positive thought about this car. I think that I've never driven an electric car at any real length, right? I've just hopped in one and driven it. The one thing I notice when it's a cold day, there's nothing like getting in a car and having like instantaneous heat.
Yep.
Like, I've never experienced that. I've never owned an electric car. So coming outside and having it just immediately, like, I didn't even pre-warm it in the app. I just started the car and like by the time I was 3 houses from my house, it was warm.
Yeah.
And to be perfectly fair, I don't think that's ubiquitous to all electric vehicles. I'm almost positive this has a heat pump.
Oh.
And as I think most are going that way, but there are probably earlier versions of electric cars, like until you get some heat generated by the battery, etc., they're probably not going to do that.
I didn't know that.
But,
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, this, to Ryan's point, the other day when I started, it wasn't that cold. It was like +2 or something. And I went on the app and preheated it, and I got in, and it was like just cooking in here. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's anyway. I thought that was awesome. Let's change gears only slightly. Let's talk about kind of the electric experience, and by that I mean the charging, the whole kind of experience of it. I'm soliciting thoughts here because I think we've had variable experiences, but not bad or good. Just sort of, I want to hear from everybody.
Yeah,
on it.
interesting. Like I don't think any of us knew really what to expect.
Nope, not at all.
I'll say when we picked it up,
Yep.
we put in where we had to go, and it was like, nope, you're not going to make it. Mandatory charge stop.
Right.
So we went, okay, sure. Like we kind of already figured that.
Okay.
So we pushed it a little farther than maybe we should have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you're supposed to really maintain a battery between 20 and 80%.
Right.
Yep.
That's optimized for charging, driving, everything.
Longevity of the battery.
Correct. So we went down to, I think, 16% by the time we hooked up.
Yeah. Okay.
So not far under.
Yeah. Yeah.
We found a charger off the 401. We pulled up, download some apps,
Yep. Yep.
put some credit card info in,
Yep.
hooked up. That was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like the hookup.
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I thought it was.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think that might have been mostly you. You seemed to be able to fly through it pretty quickly because I didn't have the same experience.
Yeah, you had a little
Yeah.
jumbled. But
Yeah.
so we plugged it in. I thought we were at a 150 kilowatt charger,
Okay.
but it seemed to take a lot longer, didn't it?
I mean, it did take a while. I don't understand that. This is sort of the gray zone I don't get about. I just don't get it yet.
Yeah, like we waited for what, an hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah, approximately.
So we went and had a coffee or whatever. We killed some time.
Yeah.
Inconvenient. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
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 Not ideal. You're traveling with a family. Now you got to entertain kids and
Yes.
a dog for an hour and 20 minutes. And that got us back up to 80%. Drove home. Charged the next day at another Electrify America charger that was 150 kilowatts. And I went from 20 to 80% in 21 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, which is like, that feels wicked.
Like that was really fast. Like
Yeah.
there was no inconvenience there. I
Yeah.
actually had way too much time planned for the charge.
Yeah.
So it worked out pretty good. Charging, obviously it sucks if you're planning to go somewhere and then those chargers are full.
Yeah.
You ran into that, Sean.
Which, yeah, I was going to
So
say.
did I. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, briefly, I think we could probably all agree that relying solely on a public charging system is not ideal. If you had an electric vehicle, without question, now, again, this assumes we all have garages. We're, I guess, fortunate that way. So I would have a charger in there. I'd plug it in every night. I would never think about it. Like, the one time a month that you did a road trip or you had to go somewhere a little longer, you pop it in the 401 or along the highway corridor. That's not a big deal. But I mean, in the short 24-hour window I had it, I went to 2 chargers. To Ryan's point, Dylan is the youngest of the group. He doesn't know who the Deftones are, but boy, can he use a computer app.
They were here. They were here. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Sean and I talked about that. We were going to buy you a ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan's like the Baron Trump of this group. Boy, can he turn a computer on and off. But, so when I went, I had the app all download. I thought I was doing the right thing, but when I went to actually plug the card and try and make it work, it did take me sort of 10 minutes to figure out. The first charge. Go ahead, Ryan.
Oh, no, it's okay. I want to jump in on a comment you made. So you said if you were at home and you had the charger in your garage, your quote, wouldn't think about it. You would charge it every night and you would just drive it, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting for me because I listened to that and I thought, okay, if I had that, I was thinking I would be the same. However, certainly what I felt when driving this car, and again, this is my first experience living with an electric car, I felt like I paid obsessive attention to the battery level, whereas I was kind of imagining if I had a gas car, I don't even look at it until the light comes on. I don't even think about it.
I feel like that's kind of just like being initial to the whole
That's
thing.
what I'm
Yeah.
wondering. Like, I don't know, is
think
that
so.
new? Does that eventually fade away and you
I-
become a gas car driver effectively, but driving an electric car?
Yeah, like to me, I didn't really look at the battery that much.
Oh, I looked at it all the
I just
time.
went, like I'm in a city with 36 chargers. Like, I'm not very far from one ever.
Okay. Yeah, just interesting. It was a thought I had.
I do think that's a bit of a novelty. You're obviously watching and trying to gauge how quickly it's moving or not.
Yeah.
To Dylan's point, I think after a while you just go, yeah, I know I'm going to, like, if you're in a routine or you're like, yeah, I know I can go to this person, this location and back, you're not going to be concerned.
Fair enough. So maybe
Yeah.
that fades. It was just my initial, I also probably should say that my nerd level, I really enjoyed watching that swinging line back and forth where I'm going
that
from
regen thing.
charging to using. And I was playing the game of trying to maximize the charging. So I'm proud to say that I got like 11 kilometers and only knocked the battery down 1%.
I know for me, when I get this,
Yeah.
I don't have one charger in my town
Yeah.
where I live.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Not one. So I'm going to have to drive 30 minutes to charge it.
Correct. So stop at the Masonville.
Yeah,
Stop at the mall before you head out of
exactly.
town. Yeah, it makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, I wouldn't even stop there. I'd stop right up here.
Right there.
Hit this
Yeah.
Well, I won't
supercharger.
stop here, but we're coming in tonight, so I'll do it.
Oh,
then.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got lots of battery.
lots of battery.
around, but
To your point, Sean, or whoever, I think it might have been Dylan, but I definitely arrived at the nearest 150 kilowatt charger to my house. There were 3 on the screen. When you get there, the thing goes, oh, it's actually 50 kilowatts on that one, and the other ones are only 6.5 kilowatts. So only one of the 3 powers at 50. I did have an interesting experience because I used that charger twice, one time in the daytime and one time at night. In the daytime, it charged for 26 minutes. It got me from 56% to 80%. I was very happy with that. I didn't think that was that bad. I was at a mall, so I could walk in the mall and kill 25 minutes, which was nice.
Yep.
Proud to say I didn't spend any money in those 25 minutes either. And that charge was about I think it was $26, something like that. I did go back later that night and roughly added 16%, and it cost $5.50.
That is a big thing, right? Like it is surge pricing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know
And-
anything about that.
Yeah, and at how fast you charge. So like right now we're looking at the screen. It says
I'm just dropping the ball everywhere. I'm sorry. We had another minor glitch, but we'll get there. We'll stitch this into one episode. You won't even know. It'll be so seamless.
seamless, they say.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to your charger conversation.
So 150 kilowatt chargers, the minimum you're going to want to charge this with.
agreed.
Other than that, you're wasting too much time. And then I feel like you're also spending too much money if you go 350. I mean,
Yeah.
up to you.
And I don't,
Yeah.
I don't believe that this system is optimized to take that much current amperage.
It might
whatever
not
is.
be, to be
Anyway,
honest with you. I
yeah.
don't know. I mean, you get away from all this by having your own charger. Like
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
a charger installed in your house is $2,000.
Yeah, fair enough. So you kind of have
So-
to just factor that in.
Yeah, you're you're going to spend $100,000 on this thing.
Yeah.
$2,000 is not going to sway your decision.
So maybe this is a good segue to before the recording material dies again. I think the
Easy. Is that a shot at me?
No, yeah. Ryan graciously bought all the equipment, but everything now is his fault when it doesn't work.
Yes,
So,
exactly. That's
yeah.
the risk, isn't it?
Die by the sword.
Yeah.
I think the elephant in the room on this whole thing, I feel like we're sort of coming to the end, is we're all quite positive on this. I mean, Dylan is going to buy one and put stickers on the side for his business, and
Perfect. I can't wait.
I'm not
Well,
far.
that's a good point. Like, to be honest with you, I think I've been saying this the most, that every company should sell their Wranglers and their Broncos and their other things and just buy one, just lease one of these, put their name on it, you get way more attention.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
I totally agree.
Yeah, if you want advertising value,
Yeah.
this is the car to do it in.
Yeah, absolute agreement.
But, and again, we've talked about all vehicles are now expensive, et cetera, et cetera. This is a first edition, which is another caveat. I don't know what in a year's time you'll be able to buy or order, but this vehicle as it's spec'd, as it sits, is $88,000 plus tax.
Okay. I wish we had a build sheet. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind having that number exactly, but I think you're probably right.
No,
It's-
you're all right.
Okay.
Yeah, It is a lot of money. And again, if you're a leaser, typically electric vehicles are not going to lease as well as a gas equivalent vehicle. So that's, an additional cost. When I think about the price of this compared to an Atlas, for example, if you want something to move your family around, an Atlas is going to be $35,000 to $40,000 cheaper. So that's a tough pill to swallow. For looks, you've got to really be either wanting this or needing this. That's kind of the caveat in the whole thing. Like, it is very cool. It's very novel. We're all quite positive on it. But I think my sentiment is still, how many of these are we going to see running out in the wild at that price? not as many.
No, I agree.
I certainly haven't seen a lot on the road yet. I've
No.
passed 2, and I'm a full-time road warrior, so I have definitely passed 2. I wish I could tell you if they were owned by a dealer or
I was
not.
going to
I
say
don't
the
know
only
that.
one I've seen on the road
Well,
was
they
a
are
dealer
officially
one.
for sale yet?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are.
yeah. And
And-
the one I saw was not logoed up. Like I saw a green one in Kitchener, and I thought, okay, for sure it wasn't logoed
Yeah.
up. It didn't say like a dealer's name on
Yeah.
the side or anything. Like didn't say anybody's business name on the side. Nothing like that.
Yeah, like Levens is using one of these as their customer shuttle now.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I love it. The shuttle
Yeah.
buzz.
Yeah, shuttle buzz. Yeah.
Shout out to Levens. I like that. I thought that was pretty slick.
And I did share with you guys a friend of mine, the north end of town neighbor has bought one of these, and again he's a Volkswagen sort of evangelist. He's got GTIs, he's got whatever in the garage, and he has an orange two-tone white, whatever that orange
Love it.
sort of candy red color is.
Yeah, I love it.
It looks fantastic. But again, he or she is just a complete enthusiast, and that's kind of, I think, maybe where these are being picked up now.
Oh man,
Yeah.
if I could have this wrapped in mint green for like to match my car and then lowered, I would be
Oh my
so
God.
happy.
Have I not been
On
all over
airbags.
that? Like,
Yeah, no,
put this thing
yeah,
on
yeah.
airbags, put BBS wires on
Yeah,
this.
I think it would be so
be
cool.
pimp.
Yeah, it would be so cool. And I actually wonder if Volkswagen was like, I mean, they must have been aware of that. They're developing this product and they're like, look, there's a whole history of this kind of shape and this model, and they must have known that people were going to mod them. Because I mean, I don't like the Zuckerweb that much, but when I log into Facebook, my Facebook tries desperately to feed me to Buzz owners groups, and some of the Buzzes are crazy.
They're awesome. They're so cool.
Yeah, they look wicked. I have a really odd, specific question about the charging. What is the etiquette when I arrive at the charger and the other person's car is at 100 and they're not there? Can I pull the cord out and just get on with it?
Well, I mean,
Because if
I
let's be fair,
suppose
if this was a gas pump and it was pouring out fuel, I would probably just take it out.
I suppose you could, but the problem is, specifically for me, I actually had to basically drive this thing up on the grass to even get the cord to reach. let
Oh, that's
alone,
interesting. I didn't have that problem.
So if there was
I didn't have
another,
that problem either.
if there
Okay.
was another car there, charged or not, done charging or not,
Yeah.
you probably couldn't get yours plugged in. So, I think if it's charged, yeah, you can unplug it, but can you get it into this thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This was the experience I had yesterday. I found myself irrationally angry at someone that I couldn't even see. Like I was like, why is this person's car at 99% and they're not here?
But it hit 100, right? And then the guy was there within no time, right?
I don't know that because my app wasn't going to fill me in on that exactly. It just said the charger was in use.
Oh, sorry. I thought you waited there and the guy
I did,
came
and
out.
he came out, yeah. But I wasn't watching the screen at that point.
Okay.
I'm assuming he had a clock on his
Yeah.
phone or something. You made a comment earlier that the apps were pretty smooth. It's weird for me because my experience was sort of like the apps are good, but there's a lot of apps.
There's a lot
and
of
so,
apps.
So in exchange for having a lot of apps that are all relatively smooth, the whole experience actually was slightly clumsy because you get enough apps and you kind of have to like, oh, I got to use the My VW app here. I got to use the Flow app for the charger. I got to have this app to locate where the chargers are.
Yeah,
like
plug
there's-
share.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff.
And then it's like, oh, hey, Flow. I use both companies to charge.
Yeah,
so I use
exactly.
Electrify America and Flow.
yeah. I just thought there was a lot of stuff on my phone.
There's a lot of stuff.
I was like, I feel
Getting
like I have a
alerts
lot
all
of
the time.
things. Yes. I did get a lot of alerts. I don't know. Overall, though, Mike's going to drive this thing for the next 2 days here. I think you're going to enjoy driving it around. The attention it gets alone is something fun. That really is a fun moment. Everybody smiles. Everybody waves.
In your slightly smaller town, I think this will be even more of a
A
novelty.
real celebrity
Oh, yeah.
status.
I'll have all the neighbors out.
Yeah. The guy who likes pressure washing, he's going to
yeah.
want to wash it for you.
I hope
I was
so. It's
thinking about
filthy.
him. Yeah.
Filthy after that
It
drive
is.
from Toronto.
I tried to wash it yesterday, and I drove all the way into this lovely drive-through car wash thing, and there was a little tiny handwritten note over the thing that said, "Touch-free is broken." So then I had to awkwardly back this large cargo van out of this twisty lane, and because I wasn't going to use a non-touch-free wash on someone's car. It's not my car, and again, thanks to Volkswagen for letting us have it. I'm trying to take care of your paint. That was difficult.
Yeah, I get that.
And then you're the awkward guy in the electric car at the gas station, and everybody thinks you pulled in, and there's no charger, and
Right.
you have to
Yeah.
just awkwardly run with your
Yeah.
tail between your legs. That was me.
Fair enough.
But I'm really looking forward to next week hearing what Mike has to think about this too, because the
Me
three of
too.
us have got our time with it. Now you'll get your time, and Sean will have to drive it all the way back across the city, but and charge somewhere along the way. You know what I mean? Get yourself there.
Mike may be converted, but I'm not holding out hope. I think
Yeah, I
he's
For me and where I live, I don't see it.
yeah.
But again, if you had it in your garage,
If I had it in my garage,
yeah.
which I don't even know if this would fit in my garage.
Well, you just run the cable out from under the door, right? That's,
Yeah,
that's what my neighbor
yeah,
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they all do.
Yeah, we'd see. I don't know. It is cool.
And you would spend, like, let's be real here. You're paying 10 times the electricity rate
Yes.
at these public chargers.
Yeah.
So
least,
$60 bucks is $6 at home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
That
Yeah.
$6 for 500 kilometers.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Show me what vehicles do
No,
that.
it's excellent. Yeah, yeah. Well, as an overall experience, I think we're all very happy, and we're grateful for the team at Volkswagen for letting us have the car. We really appreciate it. We've done sort of unlimited miles. The dog's in the car. I did the doggy daycare pickup. The kids at school. The kids dropped at school. We've done all the things.
Yep.
The
Love
dinner
it.
dates,
The van life.
etc. Yeah. I think it's if I had this lowered, it'd be pretty damn cool.
Oh, it'd be sick.
You know. Anyway, return to season. This is season 2, episode 1. A real special for us, but we have another episode in the can. We will post that up since we admittedly lost it and then we found it.
Yeah,
so
we actually have 2 seasons.
we have 2 episodes
two
ready to go.
two
So
openers.
exactly. So at some point we'll post the second one, but. Appreciate everybody listening. Like, comment, subscribe. We're on Instagram. You'll see lots of posts. We're sharing the pictures of the van like crazy. So,
Hopefully we can get some more VW products.
totally. Yeah. Totally.
Love to
I
see
can't
that
wait to put
Golf
4 of
R.
us in an Audi A3. You know,
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Golf R. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been great to us, and
Yeah. Really appreciate
we
those
really
guys.
appreciate it.
We do.
Yeah. And Mike, thanks for your effort on Instagram, tagging them constantly and
Yep.
making sure they knew that we really wanted to drive this
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch up soon.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.